Hi, this is Rebecca Warrington from rjmindbody.com. Welcome to Gentle Stretch as we start our week. This is Monday. I can't wait to do our work around really focusing on the core this week, but also the continuation of the flexibility and the balances. So we're going to get started. When we think about doing abdominal work, we want to look good as opposed to, the important part of building our muscles is to protect our spine, to help our posture, all the things that we need in order to go through life. But yet in our heads we think, well, I want the six-pack, I want to put on the bikini or the bathing suit until I don't want to show any belly. And that's not what this is about at all. This is about getting those muscles that are essential to our well-being, to our posture, to everything about us. And that's what we're working on. And not only that, we're going to continue with the flexibility and the flows. So lots of good stuff. And I'll show you modifications for things. I practiced this class today, and I have to kind of tone it down a little bit because I realized it was probably a little bit too intense, but I will tone it down. Not that you would have known anyway. Anyway, so let's get started. Let's find our comfortable seat. Easy seat. I'm wondering if it's getting easier for some of you to sit in an easy seat. It's primarily, when I say easy seat, it's just crossing your legs, coming into that cross-legged position, finding your tall spine. That's the beginning of our core work, is sitting up tall. So when you feel nice and tall, you think about having a string attached to the crown of your head and lifting up towards the ceiling. Let your shoulders, reach your shoulders towards your ears and roll them back. And then soften them down. Let your face soften as well. No tension. There's no need for it. And then just take a moment here, connecting to your breath. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose or the mouth. Connect to the breath. And just bringing your attention to the core, to the center of the core, your abdominals. And not just the outer surface, but try and in your mind's eye imagine the deeper muscles that are wrapped around your spine, protecting your spine. And as you breathe in, the belly softens, and as you breathe out, the belly draws in. So to strengthen our abdominal muscles, we often think, well, you just hold them in all the time. No. When you soften them first, and then you pull them in. And see if you can start to connect with the muscles, how the muscles feel when there's no tension in them, and how you feel when there's tension as you exhale. Most of us don't know what it feels like to have, we don't know how not to have tense belly muscles, if that makes sense. We live in a society where tension is very much a part of our lifestyle. So our bodies hold that. So just learn to kind of explore, what does it feel like when I'm not tense, my belly? And what does it feel like when I tense it? And we go in between, we go back and forth between those two things. And then just gently open your eyes. And let's come off of our seat, and we're going to start on our backs. Do a few little abdominal work, I'm going to tone this one down a little bit. I did kind of start a little bit. I was a little too intense. Lay back onto your back. Mondays can go either way. So when you're on your back, take your hands on your rib cage, feet flat on the ground, knees pointing up, and I want you just simply to just connect to your breath, hands on feeling the rib cage expand. And just by laying like this with the knees bent, you're working on your psoas muscles. You're starting to stretch those out. The muscles that run from the femur, all the way to the third vertebra, lumbar spine. So that's the one, those are the muscles that cause lots of problems for us because they're too tight and they cause back problems. Now take your hands and slide them off your rib cage and place your hands on your thighs. With the heel of the hand is maybe touching the crease of your hips or close to it. Take a breath in, and I want you simply to arch your lower back. And then as you exhale, straighten those arms so the elbows are soft, and then straighten the arms and press your lower back into the ground. You'll take your tailbone up just a touch, just a little bit off the ground, and then re-inhale again, the elbows soften, and you're arching your lower back, lifting it off the ground. And as you exhale, I want you to press your lower back into the ground and push those hands into those thighs and straighten those arms. So create the tension. Then inhale, there's a softening of the belly, arching of the lower back. And then you're going to exhale, press into that lower back, create tension, straighten those arms. And then inhaling, softening and relaxing. And then exhaling, pressing into those thighs, pressing that lower back into the ground. And then inhaling, relaxing. One more time. Pressing into those thighs. Lower back pushes into the ground, and then inhale, relax. Let the belly relax, let the lower back relax, and hug your knees into your chest. Little tiny rocks from side to side. It was nice. It was Mother's Day in America, so it was really a wonderful day. If you see flowers behind here, that was from my daughter. And then extend your legs, reach the arms back behind you. Stretch through those fingers, stretch through those legs. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, float the arms next to your sides. And I want you to take an inhale and nod your head. So bring your chin towards your chest and look towards your feet. And then just release down. Let the head drop down. Take an inhale. And chin towards chest, look towards your feet. So you start to kind of power up these muscles. Then release down. This time, inhale the arms up to the sky. Nod your head so your belly softens. Exhale, release back down, but keep the arms lifting up. Inhale, chin to chest, looking towards those feet, and then release down as you exhale. This time, you're going to inhale, lift up, look towards your feet. So you're nodding your head and you're lifting just your right foot off the ground, not too high. And then exhale, inhale, release all the way down. Take an exhale completely. I'll get the breathing. Inhaling, lifting the head up, looking towards your left foot, and exhaling, lifting your left leg up. And just hold, then release that left leg down, and then exhale all the way down. One more time, inhaling, lifting your head up, and then exhaling, the right leg lifts. Inhaling the right foot down and exhaling your head down. Inhaling, lifting up, looking towards your toes. Lift your left leg up. Exhale. Inhale, and then exhale low all the way down. Reach the arms back behind you. Stretch through those hands. Now we'll do one more, which will be both legs. Some of us won't do both legs. We'll do one at a time. Take an inhale, lift your head and up, nod your head towards your feet. Exhale, lift both feet off the ground. That might not work for you, so you'll do one, and then you'll lower it down, then do the other. The rest of us might leave the legs up. Take an inhale and exhale, lower down, reach the arms back. Breathing in. And one more time, inhale, reach the arms up, look towards your feet. Exhale. Then inhale, lift your legs up, or one leg up first, and then the other leg. And take an inhale and exhale, lower down. So these are Pilates moves. Reach the arms up this time, lift up all the way up to sitting, and you might have to help yourself. And then hug your knees into your chest. Bring your heels as close as possible, drop your chin to your chest, and take a breath in. And take a breath out. I have to say, I feel those already. It's really nice to throw in some different things, working different muscles. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, let's cross our ankles, and let's come onto our hands and knees. Using those core muscles, those muscles we just worked, which will help us to begin to work, to move through our flows and our stretches. So inhaling, reaching your arms forward, stretching through those fingers, lowering your head towards the ground, letting your head rest. And take a breath in, and take a breath out. Inhaling and exhaling. And then inhaling into your tabletop with your hands slightly forward of your shoulders. Let's do a few little cats and cows in this position. Exhaling, rounding, and inhaling, lifting your heart. Usually we have the wrists under the shoulders. Let's bring them a little further forward and do these stretches. It just changes the shape of your cats and cows, as opposed to always doing it in one way. This will work your arms a little bit differently. Inhaling, cow. Deep breath in, and your belly softens here. Let it hang down, and exhaling, pull the belly in and up. As you exhale, look between the legs. And one more time, inhaling, lifting the chest. And this time, low, come all the way down onto your belly. And let me just swing around so you can see what we're doing next. So you're on your belly, and your hands are outside the mat, on fingers, so you're creating little cups with your hands. Elbows reaching up. This reminds me of a spider. So elbows are reaching up towards the ceiling, and lift up. And exhale down. Inhale up, just looking towards the front of the mat, and exhale down. Now if this hurts too much, flatten the hands out. You don't have to come onto those fingertips. Just little tiny movements. Make sure your legs, you're not forgetting the legs. Use those muscles, the glutes, the bottom cheeks, squeeze them together to protect your lower back. Options, flatten out those hands, or the higher the elbows, a little bit more intense. Now come back down onto your belly and place right hand on the ground flat. Left hand, create that little cup. And look towards your left shoulder, and then just switch. Flatten that left hand down, come make a cup with that right hand, and then look towards that right hand. So a little tiny twist. From side to side, alternate. Looking to one side and then the other. Back and forth. And then coming back to center, bring those hands right next to your chest, thumbs under your breasts, and lift up. And exhale into your child's pose with the arms reaching forward. This is an active child's pose. And let's inhale, lift back up, and this time walk your hands a little further forward and place and drop your pubic bone towards the ground, lift your heart. And then exhale, round to the spine, press back. And then inhale, slide forward. An option here is either to drop your pubic bone and keep the knees on the, keep the feet on the ground, or some of us might want to add a little the toes together and lift the knees, the feet up, and exhale down. Let's do this a few more times. Inhale, forward. Stretch and open up the front of your body. You don't have to pick your feet up. This is called a king cobra, I think. It just adds extra for some of us. Some of us, it's perfectly fine. Keep the feet down, that's just enough. And then exhale, round back. Let's inhale back into our tabletop. And then let's exhale into your downward dog. Let's bend your left knee and straighten your right leg. If you have to do this on your forearms because you're having trouble with your wrists, then do so. And look underneath that right arm. Keep your right leg straight. That left knee can bend even more if you'd like. And then inhaling, let's just switch. Bend your right knee and keep your left leg straight and looking underneath your left arm. And breathing in and out. And then inhaling back to center. And then step your right foot forward. If you have to come onto your hands and knees first, then do so, then do so. And then left knee down. If you have to double up the mat, do so as well. All these options. And then come up nice and tall. Make sure that right foot, you're not feeling that imbalanced. And then reach the arms up. Now from here, I want you to take your left thumb and index finger, wrap it around that left wrist. Press that left palm up to the ceiling and bend over towards that right side. Stretching out the left side of your body. You could bring that right leg in a little bit more. Feeling that left hip. And then inhaling, releasing the arms down to the ground. Let's fold over your right leg. So you scoot that right leg forward and fold over. Hold the back. Hold the back. Hold the stretch. And walk your hands inside that right foot. Heel toe that right foot out until it's almost off the mat. Maybe it's off the mat. And just bend your right front knee. And lean forward and hold. Breathe in. So earlier I was doing this, I was going very fast. And then walk your hands back and then straighten that front leg again. And just, you don't have to straighten it, you can almost straighten it. We're working towards actually being able to straighten the leg a little bit more. Toes, right toes towards your right shin. Feel that wonderful stretch. One more time forward. This is called a lizard. This is a hip opener. So we feel the stretch in that right hip. And then let's place the hands back on the ground and just take that right leg back next to your left. Let's reach your right leg back behind you now. So you're in an all four position, all fours, and left arm forward, stretch through that left hand. Or that left arm. And this is where we start to strengthen our core, especially the muscles we were just talking about, the ones that wrap around your back. And then lower that left hand down, right knee down. And from here, you're going to take your left arm, lift it up to the sky, and we're going to thread that left arm underneath your right arm and come onto that left shoulder. This is called thread the needle. And slide your right hand forward and maybe forward to the front of the mat and maybe walk those fingertips over towards the left side of the mat. And breathe in and out. And then walk the fingertips back until they're in line with your shoulder and slide them back towards you. And inhale, lift your left arm up and see if you can go a little bit further with that left arm. See if it can go a little bit higher and then lower that down. Sit back into your active child's pose. Stretch through those fingers and then inhale, slide forward either into that king cobra or with your feet up or your pubic bone towards the ground. Lift your heart. Exhale through the cat stretch. Sit back. Exhale. Let's do this again. Inhale, either or. Make sure in your King Cobra you're not on the kneecaps. You're above the kneecaps. Lift up and then press back. And then let's inhale into your downward dog. Stretching. Let's take your left foot between your hands, or you can come onto your hands and knees and go from there. And then lift up nice and tall. And take your arms up to the sky and take your left hand this time, the thumb and index finger around that wrist, right wrist, and stretch over to the left. Soften the shoulders. If you have knee issues, you be extra careful here. You can do this standing if you need to. It's all about stretching. And then inhale, lift back up. Place the hands inside, oh actually not yet, frame that left foot and fold over your left leg. So straighten or keep it slightly soft. See if you can flex your left foot and then inhaling forward, stretching. This is one of my favorites. And then straightening, bending and straightening. And then bring your arms over inside your left foot and heel toe that left foot out to the side. Even if it's off the mat, it's off the mat. The closer in, the more of a challenge it is for your hips. So it depends on the flexibility. And then lean forward into your hip opener, the lizard, and then straighten the leg. Let's hold, slow. And then bend, and this time we hold the bend, the lizard with the knee bent, and you can place your hands wherever you want, either on the forearms or arms straight. And just breathe here, in and out. Remembering when you breathe in, there's a slight tensing of the body. When you breathe out, you go deeper and deeper into your stretches. And then walk your hands back up. And then take your left leg next to your right, back into your tabletop. Extend your left leg back. Oops. Make sure there's nothing behind you. And right arm forward. So think about the core. The center of your core right now. How it's, you don't even have to think about it, it's just working. Lots of muscles are working here to keep you up. If there's a lot of shaking, that's a good thing. I don't shake as much in this position because I'm used to it, but it used to be, I used to shake pretty much from the minute I went into it. And then place your right hand down, left knee down, and then bring that left hand a little bit closer in so it's underneath your left shoulder. Reach your right arm up to the sky, and then thread it under your left arm. A shoulder stretch. And take your left hand and walk your fingers forward to the front of the mat and maybe over to the right side a little bit to add a little bit of a twist. And just breathe in and out. Another one I love. Just unwind your body. That's what we're doing here. We're getting just constantly bringing your hand forward and slide it back to you, towards you. Help yourself up just by pushing into that hand. Reach your right arm up to the sky. We're unwinding our body. Constantly take your right hand down and sit back to your heels. We're not going to be on the heels too long, so don't worry if this is difficult for you or you just come off your heels. Just take a moment and we're going to lift all the way up. And we're going to take our hands on our backs, on our hips. Take the thumbs and tuck the tailbone under. As you do so, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lift, pop your chest up towards the ceiling and your hips forward. This is called a camel. Your legs are hip distance apart, so they're not touching one another. And we're going to lean back a little bit. And we're going to take an inhale, lift back up. This is a back And then come into your child's pose for a breath. This is a back bend. And our back bends invigorate us, they're energizing. They're also difficult because we're more likely to go forward than backward, lift back up. It turns on the stress response a little bit. Now you can either keep the toes flat on the ground or curl the toes under. If you want to touch your heels, not all of us are going to ever touch our heels. We're not even there, so push your hips forward. Remember, squeeze the shoulder blades. These are important things to prepare for before you even lean back. Once you're prepared, shoulder blades are together, tail is tucked under, bottom cheeks are tight, you can maybe touch your heels. Lift your heart. Push your hips forward. What we're doing is we're stretching out the front of our bodies while strengthening our backs. It's just fantastic. And then inhale, lift back up. Let's sit back down into our child's one full breath. We always do we do 3. Take a breath in and out. And then let's inhale one more time. If you've had enough of that, stay in your child's pose. If not, maybe come back and do one more, either the very basic one where you lean back with the hands supporting your hands on your back, supporting you. But we all prepare this way. Tuck your tailbone, squeeze your shoulder blades, and if you can touch your heels, some of us are very flexible. We don't even have to curl the toes under. You can do it at the feet at their lowest level. And if you do find your heels or your back, just try and push your hips a little further forward, chest a little higher, and then lift back up, and then lower back into your child's pose. Let's take 2 breaths here. And then slowly walk yourself back up, and let's come into our easy seat. Cross your legs. Feel that this for one moment. Close your eyes and check in. How am I feeling? Whatever it is, it is. No judgment, just this is how it is. And then gently open your eyes. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Stretch through those fingers. Exhale the hands together. Let the hands float down to your heart. Bowing your head to your hands in this gesture of gratitude, love, and compassion. That here we are again together, working through our yoga practice, but concentrating every time on different things. Expanding continuously. It's a never-ending process, but you're constantly evolving, just like life. Yoga teaches you how to live your life. We practice on the mat so that we can live our lives differently and healthier. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day. Until tomorrow, namaste. And don't forget to take a few minutes for Shavasana. And I will see you tomorrow. We will continue different core muscles. You might feel a little bit of something tomorrow, or maybe now, especially your lower back. That's why we do the core work first. And when we do our lunges, because that starts to prepare, that warms our muscles up so we can do the deeper back bends, which we just did, the camel. So you might feel a little tweakiness, just be extra careful. See you later, everyone. Have a good day. I have to turn off the recording first, so I have to go around. So I can't turn you off yet.